Hi guys, thanks for joining me. Eli, I'm going to start with you real quick. I want to share something about myself. My favorite movie of all time, not just horror, but all time, is Jaws.
Oh, great.
And I have a sneaky suspicion it has a special place in your heart too. Yes.
I go back to that movie all the time. It can't be replicated. It can't be, you can never make a movie as good as Jaws again. And part of the reason why is, and I don't know how, I have to find out how they did this, but every single background character is like talking and they're all just embodying this town. And there's this sort of free flowing conversation with everybody all the time. It keeps all this energy and this vibe going. Um, Obviously, I homage it just because I love it so much in the beginning of Clown and Cornfield, and it felt like, look, we have a Predator movie. Our movie's in the clown, sorry, in the clown field. I almost said in the cornfield, and he's moving like a shark through the cornfield. And cornfields also have like this horizon line, like water. If you get above it, it's like a clear line. So it just felt like the right time to homage the movie that I think is truly the best horror film of all time.
Agree. Thanks for that. Adam, when I was really young, I used to read Clive Barker a lot. He had these Books of Blood series,
Oh
and
yeah.
on the quote from on the he had a cover from Stephen King that said, he's better than I am now, right in the book. In the sort of a pay-to-forward moment on the cover of your book, Clive Barker says, "An author who knows how to make us afraid." As a young writer, what does it mean to get such high praise from an author like that?
Um, I mean, Clive Barker, aside from my parents, is maybe one of the biggest influences of my life, like on my life trajectory. So I can say it with like no amount of of kidding. Like that's probably one of the best moments of my life. Not only professional life, like it was just incredible. It was incredibly gracious of him to do that. And I got to it was set up through the publisher, so it came as a complete surprise to me. I didn't even know he was reading it. And then I got to 2 weeks later, he was doing a convention here in the Philadelphia area, and I got to go meet him, and he talked to me for such a long time. He had such a long line. He stopped his line and talked to me, and he was just so gracious. And like I hope that one day I can do that for someone. I hope that I can do that on their level. I'm not Clive Barker, but I hope to be able to pay it forward, like you said, because it was just such a piece of kindness that he did me.
Right. Eli, you put together a great cast. You got Kevin Durand, Will Sasso, who's currently on George Manley's First Man, and Katie Douglas, who's your lead, who's really brings it in this film. I wonder, as a director, when you get such a great, what's it do for you when you get such a talented cast to work with?
What did I do to get them? I
No,
begged.
how does that,
How does it feel? Yeah.
yeah, how's it feel? But how easy is it to
Well,
make a job?
one of the great things about directing is like putting the team together, putting the band together, and then stepping back, obviously helping them craft the character and everything, but then you get to watch the show and you're front and center and you're sitting in the director's chair while these scenes are playing out. And some of them, you play out a whole scene when you're directing. You play whatever, say it's 5 pages. You're playing out the whole scene. And you're watching what Katie Douglas is bringing to the table. And just naturally, through her skill that she's enhanced over time, but her just natural talent, you're watching her bring this character to life in real time. And I'd love to say it was me, but this is her. This is her talent coming and just, I'm proud to bring it to the people. But I'm just so proud of the whole team and what they were able to do here.
It'd be great. Adam, I once got to talk to Stephen King, and he talked about how,
Ooh.
about his movies being made into films. Like, there's movies like Misery that he really loves, movies like Shining that he didn't really care for. And of course, when book becomes movies, you have a lot of changes. For example, the character of Ginger is like much more fleshed out in the novel, and in the movie, she's just sort of in and out. So I was wondering how you felt about your book becoming a movie when you saw it for the first time, and some obvious changes being made.
I mean, Eli talks about like the viewing the book as something he like almost like a toolbox he can draw from to make his own film and make his own story. And I think that's such a great way of looking at it. And at me as a viewer, I watch this 96-minute tight movie that runs like a greased engine and is so fast and so furious that I don't miss any of that. So like we talk about like Ginger and stuff like that. Ginger gets her appearance when Janet says her name and it's like, "Oh, Ginger, are you dead?" Which is like my favorite line in the movie. I love it. I love the movie, and I think it's a courageous, great act of adaptation because it feels like the book, and yet it feels like 100% Eli's thing. Like, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coffee, guys. I just want to say I really enjoyed the movie. I usually know where horror movies are going, and Clown in the Cornfield really does surprise you. So so that's what one of the things is. I know there's 2 more books in the series. I hope it does well, so we see those books get made into films too, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank
Me
you
too.
very
Thank
much.
you.